Can you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man, Andy Gillard here. Hope everybody is doing well in the world right now.
Everybody's doing well because summer is here at last. And as is tradition, Andrew has got a vest on. Or is it a t-shirt that you cut the arms off? You can never tell.
It's a t-shirt I've cut the arms off. It's a wrestling one like all of my others. It's a Will Ospreay t-shirt that was miles too big, so I just cut it to a vest. And now it does the job.
Who is that? Will
Ospreay, he's a English wrestler who's like one of the best in the world right now.
Is this in your specialist one or the more popular version?
He's in AEW, but he also works like New Japan and he's done shitloads of work over here. Like I think if you know, even if you like WWE, you would probably know who Will Ospreay. Ash, I would joined by Ash Dolan. Ash, tell him about Will Ospreay.
Yeah, he's probably like mid-level. I don't think absolute noobs would know Will Ospreay, but if you've got a base level of wrestling knowledge, you'll know Will Ospreay. He's probably, once you get to know who he is, he's probably popular with the UK crowd. He likes to use bruv, and one of his moves is called the Cheeky Nando's.
Oh, well, you could have just said that, Andy. Let's say 5 minutes.
Did you watch the wrestling when he was on ITV like a couple of 3 years ago?
A little bit, yeah.
He was on that.
Oh, okay.
So you probably would know him, to be fair, if you saw him, I'm guessing. Anyway, we're here because we're going to be looking at the second half of the year. So we're going to be previewing the next 6 months. So the next few episodes will be about that. And then we're going to do one where we're going to review what we've seen from 1st of June. What's been released from the 1st of Jan till the 30th of June. But we'll get to that as we go along. Let's start at the start then, I suppose. So we're recording just before the end of June. So I think there's only Kinds of Kindness that is going to be released before the 1st of July, which I haven't seen yet, which I do want to. Other than that, I think I'm pretty much up to date. Stu, is there anything that you wanted to see like in the first 6 months that you didn't get round to?
Oh yeah, there's loads of stuff. Many things that you've mentioned that let's look on the service that I've hearted since you've dropped this. I mean, obviously I would have watched A Quiet Place Day 1 as well by the time this goes out. So that's obviously there. And booked that today for Wednesdays, which I don't like doing really, but there we are. Super Screen. 5 people in there. Way to go.
I mean, in fairness, I've noticed a lot of people do tend to buy on the day rather than early doors now. Because the amount of films I've booked early, and there's like there's just me, literally the only person booked, and then you get there and there's other people spoiling my fun.
I've just booked for Quiet Place for Friday night at 8:00, and one other person is in the screen.
I mean, you'll probably get there tomorrow, and it'll be, half full-ish maybe. But it was released today, so today, Thursday the 27th, time.
Yeah, I've got.
Have you got on your list to go?
Late Night with the Devil. Abigail. Godzilla Cross Kong. New Empire. If. It's.
That's because there was two films out about imaginary friends. There was the one with John Krasinski, and there was the one where it was a Blumhouse film, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one's which, though, to be honest.
Yeah, they're the ones that are on the that are cinema releases. But then you get to the ever-expanded mad world of Netflix, and the shitloads in there.
I've given up the ghost. I'm trying to keep up with Netflix stuff now. It's not impossible.
But I watched Hitman today. Quite enjoyed it, actually. Yeah, there's a few things. I mean, just looking at my list, there's things like Eric and the Gentleman series I still haven't watched yet. What else is on there? Something like Arrival, which is very old, but I've completely forgotten what that film is. I know, obviously, I know what it is, but I don't remember watching it.
Is it Arrival, the one with Amy Adams?
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. Good film.
Because I saw that on my list, so.
Yeah, it's a good film that I haven't seen since it was first out, and actually wouldn't mind revisiting at some point. Ash, was there anything that you didn't get around to seeing in the first half?
I think I'm about to get lynched, but I've not watched Beekeeper, which I really wanted to watch, and also Ricky Stenicki. Somehow I've not seen either of those yet.
I mean, they're very similar films in that they're both a bit shit, but both excellent fun.
Perfect.
I mean, both spoilers. Both of them are going to feature in this recording time frame at some point.
Yeah, it'll be in a couple of weeks' time. We'll get into the nitty-gritty on that. But yeah, let's start with this month then. So this podcast is going to be going out first Tuesday of July. So we're into July. There's a few films on here that I'm not going to talk about, but just quickly highlight. In a Violent Nature has got very good reviews. It's supposed to be a horror film from the point of view of the slasher. I'm quite interested to see what that's going to hold. I know nothing else about it other than the headline. And also there's a Blur documentary out to the end, because I didn't even realise that Blur had reunited this past year. So this documentary is the last 12 months of them, and a new album, which, I mean, this is all news to me, and I always like Blur, so it feels like this has snuck up on me a little bit.
They never really split up, did they? They just went to do their own things. Even, obviously, he went to go and make his cheese and stuff, and there was other side projects that the others did, but they never really, it's not like an Oasis situation where it was never going to happen. I think Damon Albarn himself had said in the past that, when the time's right, we'll just do other things. We'll get back together and do stuff together again. So, yeah, exactly the same thing. I really like Blur. I was always obviously on the Oasis side of the war back in the 90s, but
yeah,
when you actually realise it doesn't matter, and you can appreciate them both. Obviously, never pulp. But yeah, I didn't know about this documentary until you put it on the list. So yeah, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I think it's towards the end of the month that one's out, but I'm looking forward to that one, definitely. The first one I do think we need to talk about, obviously, it's a Nick Cage podcast, so we'll start with Nick Cage. Longlegs is out very soon. I'm really excited about this. It's a film that I've done my best to try and avoid any kind of spoilers on, because I don't want anything to be ruined with this one. All of the early reviews have been massive hype about it. It's currently sat on 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.8 on IMDb. Admittedly, there's 11 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and so there's 50 odd on 97 reviews on IMDb. So it's very early days. But even so, the early news about it's really being hyped up. So it's in pursuit of a serial killer, an FBI agent uncovers a series of occult clues that she must solve to end his terrifying killing spree. Just from the blurb alone, I'm getting Night Country. What was the TV show, Stu?
True Detective.
True Detective. I'm getting True Detective vibes from the blurb on this one. And that's all I need to know going into this one. Stu, excited on this one, surely?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, okay. Obviously, there's a lot of, like we spoke about this last week and the week before, how it never ends, and he's doing like 4 or 5 films a year. This one actually looks like premium product time. Yeah, no pissing about. This one's going to be the good one. No, they're all good in their own way, but this has got, like you said, this
headliner, isn't it?
Yeah, there's so much talk about it that it can't not be good. And we'll watch it anyway, even if it was really bad, of course. But this one, I think this could be a cage fight in date night again.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest. Ash, this stars Micah Monroe, who was in They Follow. Oh, sorry,
It Follows.
Yeah, They Follow is the sequel, which is going to be out, I think, next year. We're supposed to be getting the sequel. So I think it's going to be her and Cage are going to be the 2 leads on this movie. I really liked her in It Follows, and she was also really good in another film, Villains, that I saw earlier this year, but it's from a couple of years ago. She seems to be sort of bubbling under, like she's never quite had that breakthrough role in the mainstream, so I'm kind of hoping this might push her over at the edge.
Problem is, she was also in the latest Independence Day film, so you're always struggling when you're in that crap.
I'd never even bothered with that one. It looked horrific.
Dreadful film.
But yeah, Longlegs, will this be a cinema viewer for you, Ash?
Yeah, it looks fun. I've just been watching the trailer just while you've been talking, and it does look fun. It is a good psychological thriller horror film. It always goes down well. So hopefully, as long as they stick the landing, it'll be a good one, that one.
Yeah, fingers crossed. The next film that I wanted to make mention of, which I'm hoping that this podcast should be going out on the day that I'm seeing this film, hopefully, is going to be Maxine with 3 X's in the middle. So on Wednesday, so this is tomorrow when this podcast goes out, Cineworld are doing a secret screening. So they do the secret screen. This is a secret screen. But they haven't announced what it is, but it is tying in with the Maxine release date. So fingers crossed, everybody, that I'm going to get to see it a couple of days at least before it's out for the general populace. Ash, have you seen X and Pearl?
No, I haven't. I think it was you who's raved about them, but I never got round to those ones.
Stu, I know you've seen them. You were a big fan. Are you a Pearl or an X person? Which one was the best for you?
In a weird way, they're almost incomparable to me. I'd probably say, for me, I'd probably say X, because it's more of my kind of thing. Pearl could just stand alone as a horror-ish thing on its own right. But obviously, you're going to get a lot more if you watch it properly and watch X first. But yeah, as soon as we watched them, it was like, oh, yeah, next up, it's turned into like a A24 situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree as well. I think X is the superior of the two. And I love Pearl. That's not to knock Pearl at all. I think it was a tremendous film. And I think she probably gives the better performance in Pearl, but I think it's a better ensemble performance in X. I think X is well worth your time if you've not seen it before. Really enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to Maxine, because it's moving on from this sort of backwater B&B style setting to, I think it's going to be set like in New York during the height of the pornography boom, a bit like that TV show that I'm forgetting everyone's name today. The TV show starred James Franco that was set in New York. It was like 4 seasons about the pornography era, New York. It was absolutely brilliant. But for the life of me, that has escaped me.
And I've never heard of this, so I'm waiting.
The Deuce. The Deuce. I've mentioned it to you before, Stu.
Oh, is that what? I remember the name now. I don't know what it was.
I think it was 4 seasons of it, and it was fantastic TV. Like proper. I can't remember if it was HBO, but it was HBO standard television. It was excellent.
Hang on a minute. There's someone called Lawrence Gillard Jr. here. Is that your Broadway name, Andy? Is this?
No, I mean, if you look at Lawrence, I think there's definitely there's no mistake in it.
I mean, well, CG.
But yeah, you'd like that. Both of you would get on with that one, I think. The next one up on the list. Now, I've seen the first one, but I think this is the 6th film in the Despicable Me world. I think there's been 2 Minions, and we're getting the 4th Despicable Me film. I've seen the first one, and it was fine. I'm a little bit surprised that it's this popular that with 6 films in. Stu, is this a great series that the kids love? Is it? Because I've got no frame of reference to it.
Yeah, kids love Minions. I mean, I've seen the first one. No, obviously I've seen the first 2 and Minions. I haven't seen Minions. It had a silly name, didn't it? And the third one. Yeah, that's it. And I ain't seen the third one. Yeah, even I've got a Minions mug. It changes, one of them heat changing ones. That goes from black to lots of little Minions on. Pointless, really pointless. But it's a marketing film. He knows what it is. Kids love these things, and I ain't gonna go and watch it because I ain't seen the third. I've got no real impetus to go and do so. But if it's one of them lazy days where you think, oh, something simple, something fun, put it on. Despicable Me is one of them stupid-ish. It's one of the films that is obviously not Disney or Pixar because it's a bit more grown up, I suppose, a bit more gritty, even though it's really not. But compared to them, it is. And it's very much aimed at adults with the kids rather than the other way around.
Oh, right. Okay. I always got the impression it was very much like the modern day Transformers in that it was built to sell toys.
Yeah.
These companies love these mascots. Like Minions they've got the Minions, you've got Grogu and all these sort of ones. Once they get hold of something, they'll market the shit out of it. So there's everything to do with Minions. I think somewhere I've got a Minion stress toy. I literally just beat the shit out of it when you're really pissed off. So, I think I've seen all of them because they're just easy watches. They're absolute crap, but it's basically who can you get, which famous person can you get to be the bad guy? And then Steve Carell just ponces around them.
Okay. I mean, that's always going to sell, isn't it? So I understand why there's 6 of them then, I guess. One which surprised me a little. So the first one was 1996, was it? Yeah, 1996 Twister is finally getting a sequel. 28 years later, we're getting Twisters. I'm going to go on a limb. This is my dark horse to be the biggest box office of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, a lot of people really like Twister. I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's anything exceptional. But, it's an enjoyable enough film. So I think you're going to get people going back for the nostalgia. I also think that, what's his name, Glenn Powell, I think he's hot as shit right now. I think he might be the next superstar A-list actor. And I think he will draw people in as well. So I've got like sort of low-key hopes that this might be pushing $1 billion by the end of the summer. Whether it will break $1 billion, I don't know because, well, as we've discussed recently with the box offices. But this is my low-key. This is going to be the biggest film of the year.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's got Maverick written all over it.
It stinks of Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having watched Hitman this afternoon, as I said, and I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, spot on. He will be. He's got the kind of... He knows what he looks like, and he's milking it for all he... I mean, fair play to him. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
but he's got so he's almost like too far past like Friends cameo level.
Where's he come from? Like, he's just appeared out of nowhere, and he just seems to be everywhere now. I'd never heard of him, and then he's in that Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney, is it?
Yeah.
And then he's just appeared.
That seems to be his breakout role, as far as I was aware. That's the first time I'd heard his name.
He's in Maverick. He's in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. He was Hangman in that, and then like he's done bits and bobs. Like he was in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I don't even know what that is.
It's an animated thing.
Yeah, because I'm looking at his list of films, and there's the odd like bit, but nothing particularly major. Like a surprising amount of voice work for someone who looks like that. Like you think he would be front and center on everything, but yeah, it does appear as though Anyone But You was very much his breakout role.
He was in Expendables 3.
Yeah,
really?
He's one of the new Expendables in Expendables 3. How did I not? Whatever.
He's very young looking in that though as well, so you probably forgot about him. But he's got, like I said about the Friends thing, it is very Paul Rudd vibes to me. It's just waiting. He's on the cusp of exploding. I mean, we're not saying he's on the cusp of exploding everywhere. I know that's not many females.
I watched Anyone But You on the weekend, and yeah, I think he was, to be honest.
But yeah, weirdly enough, Twisters is coming out on a Wednesday as well.
So they're expecting big numbers if they're putting it out, a few days early. I do genuinely think this is going to be the smash hit of the summer. Ash, are you in agreement? Is it 3 for 3, or is this not one you're particularly got any fondness towards?
I never cared for Twister, and the only I watched the trailer a couple of times, and when the two Twisters appears, I just laugh every single time. There's two of them. Oh no, sorry, no, I won't be partaking in Twisters. I don't think it looks nonsense, and not the kind that gets me going.
One thing I'm sure you'll be there day one, whether or not it's by your choice or Mrs. Mel's choice. Deadpool and Wolverine is being released in July. That actually, we were
talking about it, and it's not top billing. I don't think we're going to rush to. We probably will be going first day, but it's not we need to pre-book as soon as possible because it's fatigue. It's fatigue. I'm sure we will come on to it a bit further on, but we're looking down the list. Another Marvel MCU movie, and it was kind of like, oh, that's out this year as well. Oh, okay. I think the fatigue is well and truly sat it thingied in now. So it's kind of like, okay, we've seen. Plus, with Hugh Jackman coming back, we had Logan. I don't need any more Logan, Hugh Jackman Logan. I saw Logan. I don't want it anymore. He's done.
I've got to be that does put me off. I mean, I don't think Deadpool 2 is a good film. I think the first one's good. I don't think 2's good. But Wolverine got that perfect send-off in Logan, so bringing him back it's just killing the art of it, and I don't like it.
Different character, multiverse.
Doesn't matter, it's all the same shit. It's just sludge at this point. Stu, I know obviously you're going to be there, so...
Oh well, I booked it as soon as it came up, so...
I've also got Ryan Reynolds fatigue as well. After 3 seasons of Welcome to Wrexham, I'm done with the bloke.
in your neck of the woods. Living
up them. Fuck him. Up the seals.
Can't get away from the cunt, can you, up there, I suppose?
No. Well, he came out after one of the games, and he came out on his Instagram, didn't he, that his favourite curry house is my curry house. I'm like, fuck off. Get out of it. And then there's you go to the curry house and he's there, and you have a picture of him there, and you're like, fuck off, man. Still waiting.
Yeah, but if he was in there with imagine with a bottle of Cobra or Tiger, then he's got from the off-lights around the corner.
Yeah, it's just incredible, isn't it? I think the power of Ryan Reynolds. He's star doesn't seem to be waning quite like other people who've had the same. Like if you look at someone like Dwayne Johnson, I think they both had a similar sort of rise, and Johnson's star is like faltered over the last sort of 12 months or so, whereas Reynolds just seems to go from strength to strength, and I don't really get it either, if I'm honest, because he's acting. We know he can act, but the problem is he doesn't. He just plays Ryan Reynolds in pretty much everything now, which I mean, it's fine if you like that sort of thing, but it's a bit tiresome when you've seen the same performance like a dozen times in a row now. Like, move on and try something a little bit different, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Moving on into August, and this is the one I'm most interested in because I know absolutely nothing about it. Borderlands, which is a a computer game adaptation, which is going to be directed by Eli Roth, produced by Avi Arad and Lee Winnell, who did the first Saw film and Insidious and some of the things. And the lead actor in this is Cate Blanchett. And like Cate Blanchett, Tar, who's Oscar nominated year on year for giving some of the most incredible performances, is going to be doing something that looks absolutely fucking bananas. I'm really excited about this, and I know nothing about it, but I think that's why I'm kind of looking forward to it. Stu, do you know the game? Well,
I know it enough. I mean, weirdly enough, Borderlands 3 is on PlayStation Plus in July, so you can have a go.
Right, okay. So tell me about the game then. So what's the aim of the game? What am I missing out on with this?
It's more of a looter shooter. It's not my kind of thing. I know Matt loves it, but it's more of a looter shooter where you just going around collecting loot, blasting things. It's first person, so your broken brain might not figure. I mean, you can mess with the sliders, I think, now. You should be able to by now. And get some joy out of it. It's the characters and the whole wild world of it all is why I think this film's got a chance. The Tales from the Borderlands, I like that game, which is not one of them. But it's fun, silly bollocks. But is it going to be too Guardians of the Galaxy like? I don't know.
I've never played Borderlands myself, so from the cast and the directors, it'd be interesting because, like I say, Cate Blanchett, when she's on one, she's quite fun. So that enough is enough for me to probably go. I'll give this one a go.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting choice because I mostly know her from playing uber serious roles. Even when she's in something fun like Indiana Jones, for example, she was the Nazi in it. Like, she generally plays like the more straight role. So I am looking forward to this one.
She like I was saying, she's in the live action adaptation of Cinderella as the evil stepmother, and she's pretty good in that. So she's a straight role, but fancy dresses and all that. She was very good in that.
Okay, so maybe she has got a knowledge of batshit roles then, maybe. Next film up, Alien Romulus is going to be out in August, which feels like it snuck up on us a little bit. Like, for a long, long time, it didn't even have a title until about a month ago. It was just untitled. Vida Alvarez, is it the director? It was just, him, an untitled film of his. And then all of a sudden we've got Alien Romulus trailers and everything that hit the deck. I don't know enough about the Alien worlds. Like, I've seen the first 3 out of order. I haven't seen the second one for probably the best part of 30 years at this point. So, should I dive back in and watch them all? Are we excited about Romulus?
Just watch Prometheus and then the last one. Because I think this is the bridge, isn't it, between the Prometheus ones and the originals?
I think it is.
Yeah, because it goes from Prometheus where they find the thing in the first place, and then it doesn't resemble the xenomorph at all, does it, in Prometheus?
It's like a pre-evolved version, isn't it?
Yeah, and then he gets more and more closer to what you know and love hate in the second one. So I think that's what this film is about. Again,
It's between Alien and Aliens, so between 1 and 2, I think.
we do know about the craft in Prometheus. Just watch fucking Prometheus. It's good anyway.
See, I've heard so many like varying reviews on Prometheus. Some people like properly hate the those prequel films.
No, you watch it for Michael Fassbender.
I was going to say, David.
So, how many Alien films are we on at the moment then? Because we've got like obviously there's the original 3, Aliens, Alien 3. There was the 4th one was
Resurrection.
Alien.
Resurrection. Sorry. Then you've got 2 Alien versus Predators, which sort of counts, I guess. And then is it Covenant and Prometheus?
Yeah.
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, yeah, and unless you want to count Alien Isolation game, which you can't ever play, but which is canon. But yeah, film wise, you've got four original ones. Resurrection's a piece. It's awful. It's terrible. So the first 3 and Prometheus and lost my idea. Yeah, just watch Prometheus. Just watch Prometheus, and then the sequel to that, and then this one. I think you get more out of it because you have watched it years ago, and it'll make more sense having a kind of vague memory of it to see how well it actually does fit together.
Right. Okay. Ash, I'm assuming you're excited for this one. I saw your face light up when I mentioned.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's out around my birthday as well, so that's going to be lovely to watch. Yeah, the Xenomorph's he's the boss in it, or she's the boss. She's fucking superb. So, and with your man there, what's his name? Director Fede Alvarez, him in charge. You're going to have fun because he was. What did he write? Don't Breathe. Was it? Did he do Evil? Did he do Evil Dead? The new Evil Dead.
He did the 2013 Evil Dead, so not the latest Evil Dead Rises, the one before.
Yeah.
He did Don't Breathe as well, which was... I really liked the first Don't Breathe, which he wrote and directed, but he didn't direct the second one, and I didn't think that was as good. But apparently he did write that one.
Yeah. Well, he's got a good track record with horrors, so as long as he goes into the whole, gets right in with the alien lore, then we could be on for some fun.
Super. Okay, excellent. Keeping it horror-ish at the moment then. The Crow, I don't think anything looks as terrible as the Crow remake. I don't feel like we particularly need a Crow remake. And there's nothing about this, even though it's got Skarsgård, or is it Skarsgård, the kid? Bill. Is it Bill in this one? I get confused with that. There's too many of them. But I like him, and I really like him in it, obviously. Big fan of those films, but this just looks so massively underwhelming. There's nothing about this film that looks attractive at all to me. Stu, you be there?
I will, because I don't really like the original. I think it's just a bit of ego bollocks, really. I've never got it. The whole thing about it seems a bit bizarre to me. If he hadn't died, would it be as successful as it is? Probably not. I'm not saying people who like it love it, don't they? It's one of those things, which is why this is just set up to die. So I'm going in with an open mind. It's just got RoboCop remake screaming in my face about it, though, because you're going to find something that was beloved to rehash it from, well, how much of a rehash is it going to be, or a retelling? I don't think either way with this, you're not going to win. If you're going for a new audience, great. But how many of them are going to show up? I do wonder. Yeah,
I keep going back and forth on it because that original is very well regarded. It's obviously based on a comic book series, but then nobody turned up for any of the sequels. I think we had 4 or 5 sequels. I've seen 3 of them, I think. Maybe 2. and they weren't very good. And you'd think that that first one had the momentum that it could have carried through, but it never did. It never even threatened to pick up. It was just completely straight to VHS as it was back then. Like immediately, it was straight to video. And this, other than having a big name in it, looks like it belongs in the Poundland $1.99 for a DVD deal. Like it screams stinker. This does. Ash, are you a fan of the original? Are you looking forward to this?
No, that'll get missed. That one. He suffers. Apart from John Wick, I've not really watched him in anything else, and I've never been into The Crow, so this one will sadly be passed by, I think.
I mean, I know you won't watch it for obvious reasons, but I would recommend Barbarian to you, which is a good horror film from last year, and Boy Kills World from earlier this year was a fun, silly bollocks movie that I think the pair of you would like. He plays a mute character who is trained to take on the Overlord in this small little village. He's mute in it, but his inner voice is H. John Benjamin, who is the voice of Archer from Archer. So it's funny, it's silly. Maika Monroe's in it as well. I think you'd both enjoy that. I think she's in it.
Is Barbarian the Airbnb one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to watch that. Oh.
It's a cracking out with that. No, so it's Jessica Roth who's in that, not Maika Monroe. Jessica Roth, who was in Happy Death Day, which is another excellent film.
And the sequel as well.
Yeah, I enjoyed both of them. I watched them not that long ago, and they both still hold up. And did you ever watch Totally Killer? I think it was called.
Yes. On Prime.
That stinks of Happy Death Day. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's silly. I like Kiernan Shipka, though. I think she's cracking. So, yeah, that's another one worth watching. The last one, Cuckoo's Out, which I don't want to get too deep into. I'm looking forward to Cuckoo. That was another film that get a lot of good early buzz for a horror movie. It's got Hunter Schafer in, who seems to be the next big thing as well. So fingers crossed for that one. The last one I wanted to mention in August is actually on television, The Power of the Rings. Now, I dived out of that after the first episode of season 1.
Rings of Power.
The Rings, sorry. Yeah, I said The Power of the Rings. The Rings of Power and the Lord of the Rings nonsense. Is it worth, like, as someone who doesn't really care about that world, is it the kind of show that you need to be steeped in the lore of Lord of the Rings, or is this something you can be a casual fan of?
It's a prequel, so no. You can, but again, you don't like swords and dragons and stuff, do you? So
swords and sandals.
Yeah, you're automatically at a disadvantage. I really liked it for what it was. I think it got killed because it was out at the same time as House of Dragon. And there were you can't have two things like that with whole new cast of characters with ridiculous silly names that you got to try to remember. One's going to fall by the wayside, and I think that's why they've kept them apart this time, because there's no other reason for it. They're released at the similar times in the first round of the season, so I know why people didn't like it. It didn't have the same essence of the Peter Jackson ones.
But there was black elves and black dwarves. Grr.
And I know why people didn't like it for black people as well. But it's a very Marmite show that
right.
Some super fans detest it and won't acknowledge it. Some people really, really like it. I don't think there's anyone out there that loves it and it's the best thing ever. But there was some good stuff in it. Some good ideas. It was almost like a proof of concept that it could work as a TV show more than anything else. Hopefully now with the second season and another one to come after that it's got, okay, we know what we're doing now. Here we are. Just having Lenny Henry in it as a distraction isn't going to matter.
Is this based on pre-existing work, or is this completely new in that world?
It's all Silmarillion stuff again. Like his scribblings and it's all been milked to fuck. I'm amazed there's stuff even left. But
it's like how Tupac keeps releasing new singles.
It's like the Mordor games are technically from that as well. So it's not just fan fiction. It's an adaptation of original stuff with a bit of extra mixed in. I think you probably, just to give it a go, I think get through the first 3 and you'll know if you like it or not. Because the kind of tone doesn't really change after that. But without
the tenor, if he likes it.
Oh yeah,
with tenor.
Yeah, I'm almost certain I'm not going to. I just know I'm not. Ash, are you looking forward to season 2?
Of course. Unfortunately for me, I'm too deep in now. Anything that they throw out, I'll be watching. It's my MCU, I think. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I'm not a psychopath who doesn't like the colour skin of what my elves look like, and I thought the actors and actresses who were the coloured ones, I thought that especially I thought the dwarf, I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was the best thing in the entire show. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good fun.
All they need to do at the end of it is say why there was no black people in the Lord of the Rings. Like, they all died out for some reason, and then it's canon. Then there's no arguing about anything ever again. And it's like, there's a pure fuck you to the lunatics.
They'll still find a reason though, because it seems like fans of the sci-fi world are just the absolute fucking dirt worst. Like, they want to believe in the most magical of nonsense, but believing a black person can exist. Fucking stretching the bounds of possibilities. Stupid.
They've added Kieran Hines and Rory Kinnear for this new season, so you might be able to get on board with that.
I do like Rory Kinnear. That's decent, that is. Okay. Right, so September. What'll be going on in September? So we've got a film coming out called Lee, which is going to be based on a true story starring Kate Winslet. She is going to be playing a supermodel who turned into a war correspondent. I'm quite looking forward to this, just because Andy Samberg's in it. I love Kate Winslet. I think she's tremendous. But Andy Samberg in a great role. Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do that isn't Jake Peralta again. So that's going to be on my list. What else was? There's also a film coming out called Wolves, which is going to be a film about 2 lone wolves who are given the same job to complete, and it's starring Brad Pitt and George Clooney. And there's just some when that get together that work.
Is that the are they either hitmen or cleanup crew or something like that? I'm pretty sure I've seen a trailer for that.
Yeah, literally, it just says that two lone wolves are sent to the same job. All it says is job. It doesn't say specifically what it is.
I'm pretty sure in the trailer they get sent to a hotel room or something like that, and somebody's dead, and they have to get rid of the body, and then they start arguing. It's good buddy cop sort of nonsense. So that could be quite fun.
Yeah, and it's John Watts who did Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man films, and he also did the 500 Days of Summer, didn't he, if I remember correctly? Is that him? I can't remember. But yeah, he did the 3 Spider-Man movies. So I think he's got that sort of, that pattern down of, people who are a little bit, like you say, buddy cop kind of thing, but opposite of cops in this particular one. I'm kind of hoping it might be like The Nice Guys, if nothing else. I'll be more than happy if that's the one. Beetlejuice is out in September. There's still, I said to you the other day,
again, it's going.
What was that Fawson film about wolves called?
Which one?
Fawson made a film, didn't they? I don't know who. We were looking at the Fawson film, and he was actually not shit. Fawson film.
I've just searched, and it's come up with Wolves Owners Fawson fun new sci-fi movie starring Will Smith.
That's not it.
We can't get a striker, but we can get a fucking sci-fi film starring Will Smith. Get fucked.
That's Gemini Man, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, the film's produced by Fosun Pictures.
We really are in the mud.
Hong Kong Pride on. No, this is not.
Are they going to show it in the esports arena?
I do vaguely remember all of our team turning up to watch, was it The Grey?
That's it.
Is that the
Liam Neeson one?
Liam Neeson one. I don't know if that was the club who did it, but I remember all of our players went to the premiere of it. What?
It's a grey.
Letterboxd have got films produced by Fosun Pictures, Gemini Man, Ride On, Lost in the Pacific, and a Chinese one. Fuck is Lost in the Pacific? Brandon Routh's in it, Russell Wong. Oh, God.
So the grey is the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
Okay.
But they're not. Did they fund it somehow through something else? Inferno Distribution International, maybe? Open Road Films, who owns this?
I assumed it was just because there was a wolf in there that they tried to link it to ourselves. I didn't realise that, or I didn't think the club had actually had anything to do with it.
Well, they did something at the Lighthouse, didn't they? It's got to be some kind of fucking dodgy
Most likely.
shell company that owns 5% of someone or something like that. Or all them walls that Liam Neeson's messing about with are the ones that they give for Diego Costa. It's something like that.
We're going to leave our rest of year preview there for this week. We'll be back next week where we'll be looking at September and October's offerings. So please make sure you subscribed on whatever podcatcher that you listen to us on, and a 5-star review would be excellent. Get us on the socials at Cage Fighting Pod, and any emails to cagefightingpod@gmail.com. It's goodbye from Ash and Stu, and it's goodbye from me. And remember, be excellent to each other.